Yeah. Who did this?
How do you like your recovery points?
The colour. Is that your fault?
Well, John asked me what color and I said pink as possible, because you really love pink on your car.
But I would love pink on my car.
Yeah, it looks brilliant on here.
It's the first stitch up for the trip.
All it's missing now.
I hate it, I must tell you.
Yeah, I hope you would.
Established in 1996, 4xOverland is the world's first global overland expedition channel. Join us as we explore the world by four-wheel drive. This series is made in collaboration with the Off-Road History Museum, United Arab Emirates.
This is the worst time of day for driving, especially into the sunset. I'll just take it easy.
June 22 in Western Australia. I'm on the road for what should be an epic journey, and an epic test too, to drive a 46-year-old Range Rover on what is arguably Australia's longest and toughest off-road track, no less than 1,800 kilometres off-road. But to get to its start, we must drive for 4 days, 2,600 kilometres, and that's where you find us now.
And the three vehicles that the Range Rover will be supporting on this epic journey are...
Some old Hilux with some stuff bolted to the back. Nissan Triton, I think it is. And my fantastic troop carrier, the hero of the show. And we hope.
And yesterday we had a good day, a little more than 800 kilometres. Today we're hoping a little more, if these lazy bastards get up.
But we're not off to a particularly good start.
Rob has a knock. I'm going to do a diagnostic drive. When we came in last night, there's some knocking sound. So I'm going to drive it, that section. It's corrugated and rough. I'm going to see what's real clunky. Let's see what we can do. Yeah.
Rob will be the main driver of the Range Rover, although I plan to do a reasonable amount in it as well. This then is Rob Stokes. He was born about 15 miles from where the Range Rover was built.
Yeah, it's the official t-shirt.
Near Solihull, Birmingham, England. At the time it was built, he was being chased out of pubs for being too young. Rob described the Range Rover's rattle as a heavy clack.
Tell me something, is this a banging? Is it a clack or is it a banging?
Notwithstanding the noise and rattling of the tank, there is something wrong.
I'm hearing a banging, and the banging sounds like a very heavy object in the back moving up and down. I'm not hearing a clack.
Yeah, I thought it was sort of towards the middle, but maybe back.
Difficult to diagnose given all of the sounds coming from the loading area.
Yeah, I can hear a banging. It's, I'll talk to you now. I'm hearing a boo, boo,
That's it,
boo.
Yeah, it's
And you can feel it through the seat of your pants.
It's quite
Something is loose in the back there.
I've tried everything.
One of the wheels is loose. The tank is loose. It's a heavy thing that's hitting the chassis and sending a thing through the car. You agree with me?
Because that's what I'm hearing is it coming through the chassis.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I'm going to shut it down. Get myself a hat.
The trip we have ahead of us is hard for any four-wheel drive, let alone one this old. Our self-imposed rule is that while there are people and vehicles supporting the trip, the Range Rover must carry all its own fuel, including an additional 200 litres and a great big tank, 2 spare wheels, and all spare parts.
It comes straight through the seat of your pants. Imagine dropping something quite heavy in the back here. You would feel it through the whole car. That's what it sounds like. I just want to rock the car left to right as hard as we can.
Go. Stop. The shocky is loose and about to come off. What? See that there? The bottom bolt of the shocky.
Do it again. Yeah, we've lost the bottom bolt of the shock absorber.
Yeah.
Okay, stop.
Oh, it's good that we did not drive the track out.
This is John Graber.
It's missing screw or bolt.
Nut.
It's good that you know the technical terms.
He's driving that Mitsubishi Nissan thing. And apart from not knowing the difference between a bolt and a nut, he's German. And that's a worry because
And it looked like the nut had fallen off, but what happened is the nut is still on there.
this is Heineklammern.
Washer missing that compresses the rubber. And we found the nut inside the rubber with a lot of movement. This would have been quite a big damage, I think, after a while, especially on corrugations. But yeah, now we can try to fix it. Johnny, have you got some spanners for me?
I sure do.
And he's German too. And this worries me only a little bit, actually more than the Range Rover's condition.
So Andrew, did you do a bolt and nut check before you left with the car?
We did thousands of checks before I left the car. But I think that particular shock absorber is one thing that we didn't check.
Does look a bit like it.
Scares me to death.
It scares me because we've only done about 12 kilometres of gravel, but these German folk have absolutely no faith in British engineering. I don't have any faith in it either. That's why we're both driving Japanese four-wheel drives. But I'm sure that won't stop them from picking holes in it. So Rob and I must make sure that we stick to the facts.
This doubles up as an anti-50s voice.
Early Range Rovers had a very, very nice drop-down tailgate and a very, very horrible upper tailgate that doesn't stay closed on lumpy roads. They never did, and this one isn't, so it's behaving just like a brand new car. There were actually plans not to drive it up to Broome and actually have it trucked up to Broome and then travel from Broome down, but it was actually a good idea that we drove it up here because we can identify problems now. We know what the vehicle's doing, we know how it sounds, etc. So when a sound like this, oh, that's abnormal, we can act upon it, which is what has happened here. End of day 3 driving. We've got about, I guess, 80 k's to a designated campsite on this road. We have heard a number of reports that parts of the Canning are underwater. When we get to Halls Creek, we will speak to the locals. We'll also speak to some people down in the southern part and try and get an update on the track. We are particularly worried about the southern section because they've had a number of storms and apparently it's underwater. Well, we'll see what happens as we go.
This is Broome on the north coast, the largest town closest to the start of the route, therefore the place where we'll get the cheapest fuel.
That's 197. That's on the separate tank inside. Can't squeeze in more.
We'll fill up all our tanks, including our extra jerry cans. I'm carrying one in the back of the troop carrier.
I want to see you spill that.
I know you do. I know you do.
You should be close, it's 20 liters. Oh, it's the big moment. Ooh. Well done. Yeah. You wouldn't expect that with a man your age, no dribbling.
This is the theme of this film.
No dribbling?
No, not dribbling.
Because you're dribbling a lot.
Oh, it's down to B now.
Okay. Alright, this is probably the biggest fill-up of the trip. You nearly tripped over. The next big fill-up will be Halls Creek. Will be a top-up, not a fill-up, but then we'll have a similar kind of fuel fill-up at Kanaruichi, which is well 33 in the middle of the canyon. So we've got to do this twice.
But earlier this afternoon, the Range Rover developed another fault that we need to attend to.
Today, around lunchtime, the water temperature gauge stopped working. We've been driving on oil, checking using the oil temperature to see if it's getting hot. It is getting a little bit hot, although the motor isn't smelling hot, it's not behaving badly. So, but the oil temperature is showing high temperature, but without having a water temperature gauge working properly, it's difficult for us to.
The water temperature seems to be alright.
I think the water temperature is alright, but
yeah, I mean, and the sensor's alright as well. I've been measuring, so the resistance goes up slowly,
yes,
which it should, because now it's getting colder and colder, so the resistance is going up. That.
An almost 11-hour drive yesterday has brought us to the coast. We're now heading east, and today we've got about another 10-hour driving day. Something close to 1,200 kilometers still to go before we start the Canning Stock route.
And luckily the route there will take us through a part of Australia that is particularly scenically beautiful, the Kimberley. We're going to wild camp, and we have to find somewhere to do that.
So I've been charged with finding the campsite for the night, and I know exactly where I'm going to go. Actually, I don't know exactly where I'm going to go, but I think in amongst those trees with that backdrop will be fabulous and flat. Thinking about this area here to the left of me, it's fairly flat.
Wherever you feel is good, Andrew. Hey, Robbie, to your right-hand side there, at your 2 o'clock, that's where the track goes into Mordor.
There's a lot of firewood, it's ready burnt.
That's a good part, it's dry. Nice and dry.
First of all, I need to go
Yeah. Yeah, because you were about to show me something. What have you got in your hand, Andrew? The other way around?
Tomorrow we begin the Canning Stock route. So why all the fuss?
You gotta give it a name, Robbie. Oh, Andrew.
Your mama.
Has it already got a name?
Yes, the Range Rover.
Well, let me think. It's the world's longest cattle route. About 1,850 kilometers, 1,100 plus miles off-road. But it's not just an off-road route. There are only two escape routes on the entire distance. The first one is about 830 kilometers from the start. So something goes wrong, well, it's a problem. Cars, trucks, breakdown vehicles can't access the track. You need a highly mobile, high-performance, off-road, four-wheel drive. At a point about 150 kilometers short of halfway, one can get water and fuel. On the second bit, there is another escape route, but it's only about 150 kilometers, 2 days driving or so, from the halfway point. So the last section is 800 plus kilometers, again with no escape routes. When we're out there on our own. The other problem that is facing us is a big unknown, and that is the fact that the track has been closed for 2.5 years and therefore has had no traffic on it. How overgrown is it going to be? Has the rain washed parts of the track away? Are the wells that we need for water going to even work? All these things are ahead of us, and we are trying to complete it in a 45-plus-year-old Land Rover product. Right, now you see why I'm looking a little worried.
The Friends Cross the Canning series is in
12 parts and will be released on YouTube over 12 weeks. But you can rent, buy or download the full series right now by clicking the on-screen button or link in the description.